up, though? Make sure I'm cooking real quick. Turn this music down a little bit. There we go. Hey, Peace World. Thanks for checking out another Pay Me No Mind video. I was really looking forward to talking about episode 6, the ladies of the Willow world. And it's just quite a bit to tackle for one person. And to not have a second person to like freestyle with and get in some jokes and stuff. So I may come back and I might actually do a separate chat or episode on my It's Always Personal podcast. But on here, just what am I doing? And it's tough to get people to ask questions or give you some feedback. People have their favorite highly detailed podcasts, recap podcasts that they listen to and whatnot. I'm just a dude with nothing to do today, so it is what it is. A lot of interesting things happened, but it's getting to this wartime is a slow burn. I was listening to another podcast that I kind of take some cues from, unless I beat them to getting my reaction video out there, which I did last week. But they mentioned that episodes 6, 7, and 8 will be a block. Like there'll be some through lines for those three. So I thought that was one interesting note. I guess I'm gonna watch my time on here because I know you get like I get like 15 seconds to impress anybody with what I'm talking about or whatever. So I'm gonna watch my time here. The main thing that I'm focusing on is, with this being a show that kind of centered it centered the ladies, and so I'm juxtaposing what's going on here in 1600 Japan against the constant talk of matriarchy and patriarchy that's going on today. I don't want to get all bogged down in where I stand and this and that and what. That's not my fight. I sit here and I listen to a lot of men that are kind of like, just want women in general to stay in their place sometimes and give no credence to the fact that some women are just more talented than you. Just some random woman just may be more talented than you, more smarter than you, more aggressive than you. They may get things done better than the average man. They just might. And it's kind of like some of the dudes I see yelling the most and constantly on that topic. It's like you're just not elite. And you're mad because the woman is this some random woman is trying. And so it's like some random dude crying about how things aren't in men's favor anymore or as much as they were previously. But it's like you're not killing it in your own station. So I look at that, and then I look at how miserable these female characters are on this show, and they have no agency. Mariko is like, Bontaro is like, man, all she talks about is death. All she wants every year is death. Look at what's going on with Kiku. And then look how evil or cunning or hell-bent Ochiba is. And look, Mariko, look at how Mariko is being used. Look at Fuji. And it's just kind of like these women all have to make themselves extremely small in this world and just they're NPCs kind of, and just to indefinitely accept being an NPC unless a man taps you on the shoulder, unless a male taps you on your shoulder. Some dudes are like, yeah, that's how it should be, as it should be. But at the same time, they're controlling so much. Remember a couple episodes ago where Mariko responded to John, to Blackthorn, and was like, because you don't understand how things work, you're the one that's in prison. Most of us, like our society, and especially the women, we've accepted our lot. We've accepted our fate. We've accepted this caste that's in place. And then they do this, they have this eightfold fence philosophy. And it's like, when you don't need anything, you're at peace. So in contrast, we have all the, like Ishido, miserable. He's trying to get all these plans together and get the council reset in his favor or to his liking. He got to do all this extra shit. He's miserable. Toranaga is facing a 1-against-4 against the other regents battle. Then this damn earthquake comes out of nowhere and takes over 1,000 hands, or, potential soldiers from him. He's got to do all this politicking and maneuvering at all times. He has all these chess pieces to control. He's miserable as shit. Yabashige, he's sitting here looking at this shit like, I need to stay. He had to tell my man this weekend in the background, like, hey, we need to get another will together. He's sitting here looking at the numbers and checking the strengths and weaknesses of each side. Like, and he just like, I'm just trying to survive at the other end of this shit. I'm trying to be alive so I can enjoy whatever my is it his fief or his fiefdom? Like, whatever the shit that's gonna be his. He just lost his army, his regiment. He's like, I'm just trying to save my head. Omi, he got to sit here and watch Blackthorn be entertained, pillowed by the woman that he's in love with in front of the whole town, in front of the whole village. So he's upset. Then he just lost the cannon regiment that he was just given. He's miserable. Blackthorn is like, man, I simply just want my crew and my ship and let me be on my way. Like, I don't have no problem sailing against the Portuguese, and I'll attack the black ship. I'll mess up the trade situation and all of that. I'll disrupt all of that, but just let me be back where he want to be, where he calls a shot, and he's not at the whim. He's not under the thumb of another man. So he's miserable. Sugiyama, he's gone now. His whole house is gone now. All his whole bloodline was put to the sword because he tried to take a stand. Then the new dude, Ito, he's put in place under the thumb of Ishido already. And Ishido is under the thumb of Ochiba, who's a beast. And she comes in and tells this man, you're all playthings. After this whole 50 minutes of everything that's going on in this world, she's like, y'all are all playthings. Like, it's cold that she can say whatever she wants because she's the mother to the heir. And she somehow has this value through relationship that kind of like supersedes the normal hierarchy of things. Where I'm at, 10 minutes. So one of the most Yabashiki was fun to watch this episode. You see the Catholic Church, the younger one, the underling, he's like, we need to get with Toranaga. Like he's running circles around these dudes, and they're all tied up in the bureaucracy of the council and what was put in place by the Taiko. And Toranaga is masterfully using all of that against them. So they're losing time in what they're doing, and as they take one another out and resettle and all of this, like Toranaga seems like the better one to side with. And then who else is so the one thing here, finishing up my thought, one of the major quotes from this episode was like, men go to war for various reasons. And this is Mariko saying this to Toranaga, and she chuckles before she says it. Like, I gotta point this out to you, the man that's controlling the whole chessboard, the guy that knows everything. I gotta point this out to you that men go to war for various reasons, and they're all noble or honorable or acceptable. But a woman is just at war. And I'm wondering if she said this because she really believes it, or because it's just, we can just sit back and let you dumb men do all this, create all of your own problems, to create all of these situations that worry you, to create all of this pressure that you guys live with. So I just tell you anything as long as it sounds wise, and I try to manage my facial expression and my energy and how I tell you this shit, so you don't see what I'm really doing. So yeah, she's like, women, we don't. She just accepts. This is how you think of us. This is how you value us. Fuck it. Woman, you can't put no stock in anything any woman does. So that's what I'm looking for. Like, what are these major, these different women? What's their end game? Ochiba. We know what Ochiba is, what her deal is. Supposedly, she believes that Toranaga is the reason why her father was killed by Mariko's father. And she's telling Ishida, like, you guys don't even know what you're messing around with. You don't even know how calculating this guy is. You don't know you're not even aware of how many steps ahead of you he is. Let me take over and start driving the bus. So I thought that was just a very interesting scene. It opens up with Buntaro, who I didn't realize he's the son of Hiramatsu. Good to see Hiramatsu get back to Ajiro, to the village, and come in with the Crimson Sky thing and give his input to the show. I really like Hiramatsu. But Buntaro is like, man, I'm of no service to you right now, because my house is in disorder, or is in disarray, and then you have me. You're playing a large part in it, sir. That you have me living in the house to my ice cold wife with under the roof of the guy that my ice cold wife shows all this warmth to around him. And that's one thing that's bothering. I mean, they're telling us that, and maybe it's fully made. The point is fully made, maybe in the book, in James Clavell's book. But us as viewers, is everybody seeing it, that there's so much, or that there's like love or lust or like affection between Mariko and Engine? It seems like she's tired of balancing. I gotta manage this to the image, the optics of this. And then she has some feelings for the dude. She laid down with him. But now, but it's like everybody just knows that they have something going on, especially Fuji, with these thin walls in the house. Maybe she heard the pillow action that went down, and she's aware of who left whose room and whatever. But Buntaro is like, dude, I'm no good as your greatest warrior because my marriage is all jacked up, and my relationship to my wife has been bad. And so I guess from two angles, from Buntaro's concerns and then Blackthorn's request to be able to leave, he's like, let me send Buntaro away. You stay separate from your wife for 7 days, and then I'm gonna send Blackthorn over here. I'm gonna send the engine over here for a night with the Japan sunshine. If you've seen Rage in Harlem with the sunshine, the elite prostitute in what was it, Sugar Ray's harem, Leela Roshan's character, if her pussy was so good, if you threw it up in the sky, it would think it's sunshine. Her. That's what Kiko appears to be. So Toranaga is like, to get everything reset, I'm gonna let Kiko, the greatest courtesan in the realm, I'm gonna let her blow this man's mind and put him at ease. I want Mariko to attend and observe, and maybe this resets things for her, resets her focus and whatever, and let that happen. So that's the other interesting thing here, is the tea house scene with those three, and even the negotiation scene with the mistress or the madam who runs the tea house. I can't remember her name, but the negotiation scene was cool because I think at first she thought that she was setting up a night between Toranaga Sama and Kiku. So she wanted all kind of manmi. Is that what the money is called? And then she realizes, or Mariko is like, nah, this is for the engine at Toranaga's request. So we gonna pay you what we gonna pay you. We not trying to buy all the houses in something she said, but we give you a fair amount. Let your girl do the thing. And she strikes with a bar when she's like, well, the word is that, just like this, you're never separate from the engine, from what I hear. So I think that's one thing that they haven't done a great job of. Like, we don't know how far. We don't know, like the map in Game of Thrones, the opening scene, the intro, that you might have got tired of seeing it, but it showed you as they rolled out what the map was before every episode. Like, we don't know how far Osaka is from the seaport village, or the Ajiro. We don't know the layout. How far is Toranaga and his troop, their encampment? How far is that from the village? And then what's the setup in the village? Like, Anjin has this, or Blackthorn has this sprawling estate that they just moved him into at the behest of Toranaga. Who did they move out of there? What major official, or person of some standing, who did they just displace to give? And I know they build the home, they assemble or can assemble the homes quickly because they're made that way. But yeah, he's got a nice estate with like a staff of like 8 to 10 people. So it's just little finer details that we haven't been given, that kind of don't show me how everybody knows all of these different things. Like, I thought the tea house was kind of separated from things. But then when he comes out in the morning after spending the night with Kiku, everybody, all the village people are right there. What do they call that? The walk of shame in today's parlance after a night of debauchery. But then all the town is there to witness it. On the way there, it was like it was secluded. They had the torch walking, and she's like, most wives don't make it through the gate, or the consorts don't make it through the gate, or whatever. But you know, this is a different situation. So anyway, it was wild because Kiko is just, again, the Kiko and Ochiba and Mariko as well. But because Mariko has orders, she doesn't seem to be she doesn't have as much autonomy, or she's not acting as autonomously as Kiku and Ochiba. But Kiko is working the hell out of this room and this situation and probing what's going on, and she's trying to make she says something like a real woman can't look away while another woman suffers. So she's like, I understand what's going on here. I can get this room dark. You joining us, you're not joining us. I don't really care. I do it all for a fee. So make it easy on yourself, sis. But when she comes across the room and sits to the side of Mariko, and then Mariko selectively translates what she wants to translate from Kiku to Blackthorn, and then we get the little hand rub. We saw them say the prayer together on the opposite sides of the wall, like they're on pause right now, or they're on a timeout right now with their own thing, and they got to do what they've been, they have marching orders, and they got to maintain, whatever it needs to be in the public and everything. But anyway, that's an awesome scene. We see everything that's taking place at Osaka with Ishido trying to get the regents right so that they can have the impeachment decision on Toranaga. That's going well. It just cost Sugiyama his life. I'm trying to think of the other big thing that I wanted to touch on before I get out of here. Toranaga he gives his monologue. He gives his big speech to galvanize the surviving army and soldiers and everything after they experienced the earthquake, and he gives his speech. And his thing is, again, sort of like the women, Toranaga is making himself small enough to, like, I'm just dealing the hand that I've been dealt. I'm just playing the cards that I've been dealt, y'all. I don't have any ambitions, aspirations. I don't want to be the shogun. I'm just trying to make sure the air is A-okay, folks. That's it. And Hiramatsu brought up the Crimson Sky, and Yabushiki spoke up. That'd be like strangling our own neck, bro. What you mean attack Osaka? And then by the end of the show, it's like he's like, well, I would never ask you guys to just sacrifice your lives, commit suicide, fighting some battle we can't win. Bring me another plan. And then leave the room. And then by the end of the episode, it's like, well, Crimson Sky it is. That's the best plan that we have. So he's like, and he says something, Toranaga is like, well, I'd never be the one to initiate it. I'd never initiate a war. I'd never be the one to let it get out of hand to where I have to initiate a war. It's kind of like more of a counterpuncher as a fight. There was one other big topic that I wanted to touch. I'm at 25 minutes, so I definitely got to get ready to get out of here. But I talked about Chiba already. The tea house scene. there was something I was saying a minute ago that I really wanted to unpack that a little bit before I got out of here, and I cannot think of. Thought it was a major point for this episode. Taro, we got touched on him. Omi, uh, Hatamoto hit him from a number of different angles. Damn, it was one last major talking point. One thing that I'm following along with the flashbacks. This is why I had to go read a few different articles, recaps. Like, what exactly did Ochiba have to experience to have a child with? Why did it take so many consorts for there to be a childbirth? And I guess if you for the people that have read the book, like the Taiko was such a freak or into so much, he was so kinky that something was going on with all of the other women where Ochiba took some kind of herb to calm her down or make her like sedate her in some way where she could undergo all the stuff, all the freaky shit that the Taiko wanted to do, so that I guess that she could make it to the climax or whatever. I didn't really I really wasn't able to piece all of that together in just reading the subtitles and watching the flashbacks. But through some additional content, it sounds like that's what she had to do, was be numbed up or sedated in some way to undergo everything that she needed to conceive and or to get pregnant and carry the baby and all of that, and have the heir, give birth to the heir. So and like I said, by the end of the episode, she's like, we've installed your Patsy and Ito to get our 5. Now we still need one more because you got rid of Sugiyama. And she's just like your plaything. You're not original. You're not creative enough. You don't improvise well enough to do what needs to be done. He's doing quite a damn bit, though, to slay the entire house of Sugiyama and blame it on the bandits once again. Damn, there was one point that I wanted to make. This isn't it, but so it looks like, so now, this isn't it either, but now, like, the list of, it's not a short list anymore. The number of guys that hate the Hatamoto that are out for Blackthorn's head, which, if you've seen the trailer for episode 7, Buntaro has his sword on Blackthorn's head. They don't give you very much in these teaser trailers and the previews, for the next episode. They don't give you very much at all. Not like if you were watching Snowfall or something. But after, Blackthorn comes out from the Great Night with Kiku. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. Anyway, when he comes out in the morning, now Omi hates him. Nagakado, the son of Toranaga, already wasn't too fond of him. Yabushige isn't too fond of him. So the number of powerful guys who hate him is lengthy. So that should be a major concern for him. What I did want to mention was there's also I don't know if you thought about this or cared about it or whatever, but it was interesting that Kiku took the little call out that she made as Hana, I don't know who, her helper, her assistant, her someone under her mentorship, like she was showing her the ropes or whatever, the girl that came in and poured the sake. when she took the first container or jug or whatever you want to call it away, and she tells her to wait before replacing it with the full one. And she says something like, "Take a second to appreciate the absence of presence." And that thought kind of pops up a number of times throughout this episode, where it's like, and her whole discussion or presentation to ease the mind, the foreplay, and the pregame, that she does with Blackthorn and Mariko is like, yeah, you could just come in here and think you just gonna beat it up, or I'm gonna satisfy you, this climax. She's like, a lot of people think this is such a physical thing. But she was like, nah, it's people, she said the people that I meet, the people that I meet at work. She said it in a very PC way. But she's like, nah, this is to take away disappointment, depression, you're in some kind of circumstances you don't want to be in. And so be sure to appreciate the presence of absence. I could have that backwards, but like, while we going through this, don't just, while I'm putting this sunshine on you, don't just think about that, but be mindful of how it's such a release in the stress that you have and the pressure from your circumstances or your pride, your disappointment, the fact that you can't get what you want. Embrace this moment in space that our actions are gonna clear your mind of all of that. Be sure to tap into that, so that you walk out of here tomorrow on the walk of shame, understanding the full impact of what this was all about. And that's why Toranaga sent him there. It's like, this dude is bugging out, and he's an important part of my strategy here and my army. I need him to take his mind off of what's not happening that he wants to happen, and understand all the good stuff that is happening, or the fact you a couple of months on this earth where you could have been dead already, and you bugging me about your ship and your crew. You fall back, bro. And that's what's going on. And Mariko's already a master of it, except for she just has the family situation hanging over her head. Fuji, same thing with her. Like, she has to find some kind of happiness in the absence of her son and husband. So it's a lot of people that are, it's a number of individuals that have to respect the presence of an absence. I wish I could look at that scene real quick to see how Kiko phrased that when she told the young girl, like, to basically notice where this container once was, and now that it's been moved and it's no longer there, ponder on that. Look at that as some kind of metaphor or whatever. And so that's it. I don't know if any of that made any sense, but that seems to be, again, for all of the women, all of the women that we've met, they all have to make themselves so small. Thinking of the NFL Combine that just passed, only a handful, only Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., them like the only two guys that can call their own shots. I ain't got to do this. I don't have to show you this. I don't have to do that. it's only a couple of guys who have this leverage that however they've looked at all of the circumstances, the entire chessboard, and it's really only Caleb Williams and then Marvin Harrison Jr. And Marvin Harrison Jr. has some leverage as an incoming rookie because the focus on the 3 or 4 quarterbacks. And then he's like, once these teams do what they need to do for them, they got to come see me because I'm the can't miss dude. I'm the generational, the for sure generational talent in this whole shit. So I don't have to prove nothing else. I don't have to run. I don't have to catch no passes at my pro day. I don't have to run no 40. Like, once y'all get done sorting out what you're doing with them quarterbacks, the next team that's picking has to see me with no questions. And that's kind of like with these women. There's not many of them that have any kind of leverage or have any kind of real value in this game that they're all playing. So anyway, man, that's my takeaways from this episode. I got into talking and ran at least 20 minutes long. But again, the war is slowly building because of the trickery, the technology and everything that Toranaga has put in place. And but now, it looks like episode 7 is when things might pop off. Now that they've chosen to do this rush Operation Crimson Sky. It was one other thing that he can only wait this out so long, and his plans for the council to do all the infighting, it can only prolong swords being drawn and blood spilling for so long before they have to deal with this. So, he's done all his planning, I guess lastly, before I get out of here, like with all of these people that the way that Toranaga is pushing again, who is the bad guy here? Who's the villain in this show? I mean, Ishido is doing his thing, but it's not like he's completely, evil and the villain because of what he's doing in his best interest. And then we looking over here, all the buttons that in the chess pieces that Toranaga is moving to get what he wants. Like, he's not all that. He ain't no great honorable guy neither. Just can't nobody complain about nothing because of the caste system that's set up and the hierarchy. So that's it, man. Let me get out of here. Pay me no mind. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.